Gregory, Cronk and Brandy's got a bit of a ring to it. Nice little cameo here for you, mate.
Happy to be here, Cooper.
Well, last time Matthew Johns was seen walking out of a dive bar in Oxford Street, so...
That's why I've got a call.
That's why you're here.
Okay.
Exactly right.
Happy to do it.
But Queensland versus New South Wales stage is set for Wednesday night.
Yep.
New South Wales win. It goes down as one of their greatest victories.
It goes down as one of our greatest victories because at the moment it looks a million miles away. That's why. I just think, you know, off the back of, we played well, but for 23 minutes when Queensland were down to 12 men, New South Wales didn't play well as a team. Therefore, individually, you know, I thought we struggled. And I've sort of said right from the game one win, you know, you can tinker around with the side, but it doesn't matter who we pick. Unless we play like a team, it doesn't matter who's in the side. And we haven't played like a team until the 23 minutes when New South Wales had the numbers advantage. And
that's a fair point, because if you're going to go to Suncorp and win up there, it needs to be not necessarily an individual brilliant player. It needs to be the 20 players, the coaches, to get it right, because form, history, won game 3 last year. But as you said, can they win? Will they win?
They can win, absolutely. Of course they can. Like when you look at the players in that lineup, New South Wales can win. There's no doubt about it. But their performances as a team so far, that's why they're underdogs. Yeah, I agree. They can win.
Will they win? I think comes down to Laurie. What can Laurie do to bring that team together? He hasn't got a great record at Origin. He is one of the greatest players that's ever worn a blue jersey. Mm-hmm. Let's pretend that this is most likely going to be his last. Yep. What does he need to get right to make sure that New South Wales play the game of their life?
Well, I think, you know, the preparation needs to be as good. He needs to have created an atmosphere, and prep's nearly done. You know, there's only 48 hours, or just a little bit over 48 hours now before we play the game. So I think, you know, most of Laurie's work will have been done. They'll have their last training session, and he's just got to make sure that, you know, every bit of potential in every player is extracted. It's all about the team, and it's just about, you know, what are you? Yeah, okay, we want to win desperately, but what are you as an individual prepared to do to make sure we win? So if Laurie can extract that, if we can play like a team, New South Wales can definitely win.
Yeah, I think a team reflects a coach's personality sometimes, and Laurie probably needs to flip the script this week. He needs an arrogant, confident, swagger team to walk into Suncorp on Wednesday night at 8 o'clock. Like, Tedesco needs to be brave. Cleary needs to walk into Suncorp like he's about to have one of his moments of his career. Moses needs a game that says his form hasn't warranted it. So I think that's the key to Laurie Daly, is just get your best players in the mindset that they can walk in and dominate on Sunday on Origin night.
Yeah, but if you want to pick a player out, then it's very difficult. And you know, over the last week, you know, the question has been, who's what's the key for New South Wales to win? The key is everyone. Yeah. It is everyone. It's not a single person. Yeah. But everyone has to play to their potential. So everyone that's ever had a good game in Origin, and most of these players have, even though there's a couple of young players there, Jack Bostock on debut. What a huge moment for Jack Bostock. First game is a decider at Suncorp Stadium.
I can chew you up and spit you out.
But looking at Jack and how he's handled the return from a knee reconstruction, he looks pretty cool.
He's got Origin written all over him.
He does. Absolutely. So he seems like the sort of character that might thrive in that environment. And you do get some that do, don't you? Like sometimes there's question marks over players. Will they handle it? But some you just think, well, he's got that right personality to do it.
On the other side of the coaches, you've got Slater, 3 wins from 4 series. He wins this, it's 4 wins from 5 series. He's not only one of the greatest players for Queensland, but he wins this series. He's now spoken about, you got Mal, Wayne, and probably Billy in terms of who's delivered in the coaching box for Queensland.
And Mal did it for a long time, didn't he, in those run of wins? But Billy's done a terrific job. You know, it was only Madge who got the better of him in 24, but otherwise Billy's been almost faultless. So it's big for the coaches, but it's big for the coaches. But You know, let's put the responsibility on the players. And that's what I think. New South Wales, there's been a lot of talk about Laurie and, you know, some of the decisions he's made throughout the series. Let's just park that and let's go, you know what? You group of 20 players, you're the best in the game. Be accountable and get it done.
I think the thing that has given Billy the respect in terms of coaching is not only is he a great player, he's got the X's and O's. He understands how to break down and inspire some of the best players. But he has brought a unity or a passion to the Queensland jersey that covers from the border all the way to the top of Queensland. Like Rockhampton a couple of days ago on Tuesday, they had a civic reception. Every basically person came out to support the Queensland team. Billy has brought this unity, inspiration, aspiration to the Queensland jersey that almost what Arthur did in the State of Origin, what Mal did in the mid-2000s. I think Billy's gone to another level in terms of the importance of what that Queensland jersey represents in Queensland.
Yeah. Look, there's a couple of players, and I marvel at someone like Kurt Capewell, you know, who just continues to get it done at that level. And yes, plays well, but so got moved on by Brisbane. You know, was going to be too much money. Salary cap couldn't fit him in. Goes to the Warriors, but and plays well. Not saying he doesn't play well. However, he's just one of those players that Queensland pick.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter
Just
what.
because he's done
doesn't
it,
matter
and
what,
he's going to do it again.
You know what you're going to get. Like Kurt Capewell, I think, is at the moment is that poster boy of doesn't matter who we pick in. Just put him in a Queensland jumper and he'll get the job done. Yeah.
He's the Tony Carroll, the Dallas Johnson, the Nate Miles that Queens have always picked. We talk about changes in terms of the starting lineup. You got the New South Wales bench of Murray, Fanil Blake, Brayley, Olakau'atu, Kohler and Strange. You think Murray will start?
I'm not sure, really. I know there's been a lot of calls for Cameron to start. However, he played 50-odd minutes in game one, or a little bit more than that. In game two, he played less minutes. Yep. So I don't know. The fact that he only played 43 minutes in game two says to me that he mightn't start. I'd start him, but it doesn't matter whether I want him to start or. I think the more time Cameron Murray spends on the field, the better for New South Wales. Yeah, I think he can get at least 65 minutes out. Yeah, I think there's two parts to these two benches. I think Queensland's bench just need to do their job, and I think New South Wales bench need to have an impact. Reason why I say that, Murray starts in the game or off the bench, like he needs to play long minutes and he needs to deliver for them. Adam Fanil-Blake has been pretty quiet. He needs to skittle defenders and create some ruck speed. And I think Brayley just might be the guy that ignites this performance, because if it is close and there is fatigue, Fanil-Blake comes on, partners Payne Haas or Cam Murray, whoever. What he did in game one, yes, there was a couple of contributing factors, but what he did, he went to the contest. Like he added a spark. He did. Brayley. I think he could be a key player for New South Wales. And again, the fact that Robson played 80 minutes in game two has me wondering how much time will Brayley play in game three. Surely he is on before half-time. Yeah, we said surely. He is on before half-time. I think most of us were saying surely Appy gets on soon in game two, but he didn't get on. So I would say that Brayley, yes, absolutely gets on the field. Now, the question will be, does he get on the field before half-time? Yeah. And that could happen. But that depends on how the game's going too, doesn't it? Yeah. Like everyone's got a game plan, got a plan about their interchange, but then it depends what happens in the first 10, 15 minutes as to determine who does get on earlier than what they thought, what the plan was. And that plan determines whether you're in front or if you're behind, right? Because Olakau'atu could be that guy that if you're chasing points, you need to intimidate Walker or Munster. He could be that guy that comes on. Cole is probably going to be there as an insurance policy. Yep. Strange is under an injury cloud. And again, he might have to come on at some stage and chase points. Are you going to bring him on before halftime? Probably not. Ethan Strange, no, I don't think so. No. The fact that you've gone with... New South Wales have gone with Mitch Moses to play 5'8". Yep. I don't think that changes unless something drastically happens or there's an injury. Yep. So otherwise, I think Ethan Strange mightn't be a big part of the game plan. He might be just there as cover as well. Yep. So we think then that'll be Murray, Adam Fanil-Blake and Brayley, and then it's up to Strange or Olakau'atu who comes onto that fourth spot. Yeah. So and whether Barnett starts off the bench and Yo starts up front, yep. I'm not. that's a bit of a guess. But Fanua Blake, 9 minutes in game 2, you'd want to think that he can.
A little bit
knock,
more than that.
You've
You've got to put responsibility than that.
Mate, give him 20 minutes and let him just burn himself out.
And almost try and predict when you're going to flow of possession, because Adam Fanua Blake's greatest strength is not tackling for 20 minutes.
No.
It's running from the back fence. So it's hard to do.
It's hard to judge
when you sense that possession is coming, get the big fella on.
Yeah, that's true. But I think Amoli's club form deserves that he gets another crack.
Yeah, and he would intimidate Munster and Walker. What he did to Munster when Melbourne played Manly, like just the fear factor of Olakuatu running at your inside shoulder, you're going to check for longer and not worry about Tedesco out the back. So.
Yeah, because you're not stopping him with your arm.
And
if you've slid sideways and you're going a bit too hard laterally, well, you're not going to stop Olakuatu.
And then what about Queensland bench? So I said that they just need to do their jobs. Plath will play. Carrigan, he won't start. I think he'll stay on the bench. I think they're consistent with Flegler, Fasu Malawi and Cotter. Nane's a good inclusion. What he did in Taumalolo's milestone game was pretty special. I think Nane plays Plath and Carrigan, and then that fourth player depends on what the game is doing. If they need points, Walsh is in. If they need to defend, I think Trent Liero is the guy that tackles himself to a standstill. Yeah,
no, I agree with the selection of Nane. He's we know what sort of weapon he is. So he can do anything, and the kicking game for Queensland worked a treat in Melbourne. The crossfield kicks, whether it was Sam or whether it was Cameron Munster, and we know how good Nane is on the ground and in the air. So he's definitely an impact player for Queensland.
All right, the key matchups here, Greg. Did you think before this series started that Sam Walker would outplay Nathan Cleary?
No.
I don't think
not
too
that
many
I thought
people
of it
did.
like that. No, I just thought that. Well, I think there was just question marks about how Sam would handle it. I don't know if I had a whole lot. I thought that, he seems to have that personality which we just spoke about with Jack Bostock as someone confident enough to go out there and say, I belong. And that's how he's playing.
I think if Sam was going to get a bucket load of possession like in game 1, he was always going to come up with a play or a kick, right? The thing that surprised me, and I didn't see this before the series started, I didn't see Sam Walker out-defending Nathan, and I didn't see Sam Walker game management kicking outperforming Nathan. That's the two key parts that Sam Walker has delivered for me.
Well, I thought there was enough questions around Sam coming into Origin, and a lot of it was around his defence. I thought his defence in the month, 6 weeks coming into Origin, I thought it had improved noticeably.
Yeah, it has.
And I think...
Criticism sharpens a sword, Greg.
That's right. So if there was a question mark over Sam, it was about his defence. And I think he made the statement in his club games to go, you know what, it's not a problem.
And you know Nathan better than most. From the outside looking, he is a stud. He is so good. And he has the ability to roll into Suncorp and have a moment in his career that, Wally Lewis, Freddie, all the great players have had. What does he need to get right to deliver for New South Wales?
Well, it's interesting, isn't it? Because it's the combination of Tedesco, Moses and Cleary and Robson that didn't seem to work. And I mean the combination. Yes, individually, there was missed tackles. They didn't combine well. But I think Nathan has to just own the game for New South Wales. He has to be the one that gets the most touches. And I think he has to play like a genuine 7. Now, how that fits in with Mitch, I'm not quite sure. But Nathan just has to play his game.
Yeah, I think that's right, because Nathan looked like he's trying to do everyone else's role and do the right thing by the team. But to be a good team player, you need to deliver in your strengths as an individual first. He is a freak. He can definitely turn up and be player of the match for New South Wales on Wednesday night. Absolutely he can. And Walker has the same ability because... he's not going to be overawed by Suncorp. He actually will thrive in this environment. It's just whether Queensland get the possession for Sam to attack, or if I'm Nathan, I'm using up Hudson Young and Liam Martin to go after the Queensland halves.
And I think with the selection of Jack Bostock, that gives New South Wales targets on both sides of the field. I think Nwanganita Wase and Jack Bostock are terrific in the air. And Nathan's kicking game, along with Mitch, of course, but their kicks, if they land them on the try line, that might be where points come from. And likewise, and we've always spoken about Queensland's rushing defence, early kick.
Yep.
When you get down there, kick early, just get them thinking.
You've been part of the coaching staff before. What are you saying to Hudson Young and Martin when they come up against Walker and Munster on Wednesday?
Well, they're just got to run over the top of them. That's simple as that. Like, it's got to be aggression and smarts, but aggression and involvement from both of them.
There's okay to give away a couple of little penalties. Not too bad that it's a sin bin, but literally take the handbrake off and get stuck in. Like, physically, I think, was it game 2 where Hudson Young got a hold of Walker at one stage?
Yeah.
Like, there just needs a bit. And Young has spoken a big game this week. He has basically said that he is going after Sam Walker.
Yeah. Well, I think both sets, you know, and we know that it's almost, you know, who blinks first type attitude. So you've just got to be aggressive. If you're not aggressive, you're not. It's not Origin.
And I think one of the things that's been good for Queensland is the spine attack, like the way that Harry Grant runs, and then Munster, Kalen Ponga, and Sam Walker react to that. I've been surprised they've broken down New South Wales edge defence pretty easily. Like Ponga, yes, there's no Tony Staggs, but Ponga has really attacked the New South Wales centres.
You could have given any one of those 4 players the man of the match out of that game 2 game.
Yep.
I thought Harry Grant was, like, at times unstoppable. Cameron Munster was brilliant. The tactic of, you know, the 2 wide kick really isolated New South Wales wingers. And Kalen Ponga, you're right. Once there was a half break or once there was a quick play the ball, it went to the right people, and it went to one of the spine players.
And Mitch Moses, some question marks around his form in the lead-up. Wasn't very good for Parramatta against Souths. He has delivered at Suncorp in a game 3 before. He's going to have to play out of his skin to get this victory. Yeah,
I think, you know, the first thing for both the halves, Coop, would be make sure you get your defence right. No, I'm sure they go out, you know, I know Nathan, like, that mindset is get your defence and your kicking game on, and then the game you'll work your way into the game. And I think that's the same with Mitch. If both halves, you know, defend like their lives on the line, you know, they've both got the games in attack.
Yeah, I think
as long as there's you need things to go your way. You need Payne Haas. You need. Yeah. And I did like, you know, what I read Joey's article about the New South Wales side pushing together. Very, very one out running. Well, that'll get you nowhere.
And Mitch does have it in his kit bag, like what he did for that try at Suncorp. I think the key for Moses is he's got Hudson Young there. He needs to run the ball like he did for that try at Suncorp. He needs to play a short pass to Hudson Young way more than playing out the back to Tedesco in the first 20 minutes. He needs to... He's a bit too pass-centric. He's not a half-back in this team. He is a running threat and a ball player to the back row. So he just needs to be super aggressive and run the ball or short pass. Run the ball, short pass. Then the game will open up for Tedesco after about 30 minutes if he wants to play out the back.
Yeah, there's no need to complicate things.
No. All right, give me a little bit of what is crucial for New South Wales. Like, if they are to win, we've spoken a couple of the key areas, but just what do they have to do to get this victory?
I thought the areas that they fell down in, or they were beaten comfortably by Queensland, and it's basically like the speed of your defensive line. I think Queensland have won that hands down so far this series, and even last year. Their line speed was much better than New South Wales. New South Wales have to time things better and get off their line and get in the face of the Queenslanders. And on the flip side, it's all about creating momentum. If there's enough momentum from the likes of Barnett and Haas and Yeo, there's no doubt that there's attack in this side that can score points against Queensland. So it's basic stuff. Like, and that's what wins Origin games. Aggression, speed of line defensively, and a bit of momentum and go forward, and the right players getting the ball after that.
I don't think New South Wales can chase down points at Suncorp. So I think they need to get to the front. They need to start hard, fast. They need to get that scoreboard ticking over, because if they're down by 10, 12 and that Suncorp Stadium's getting behind Queensland, it's going to be very difficult for them to get the possession and the confidence that they need. On the flip side, Queensland just can't rely on history and form and everything to deliver. Like, you run out at Suncorp, the intensity and the passion for that Queensland jersey, hits you in the face when you run out on the Suncorp. You know you're alive as a footy player. But
Yep.
I agree with you. I think their line speed, their physicality, their intensity has outshone that of New South Wales for the series so far.
Yep.
That is the absolute key for Queensland. If they do that in the first 20 minutes,
If they can repeat that,
they'll be good.
they'll be hard to
Yep.
knock off.
All right.
But we're right where we want you blokes. We're the underdogs. We're the underdogs. Come on,
You
we
are.
love it. We
Yeah,
love
yeah.
being the underdogs. We're never the underdogs.
Yeah, funny, all the noise, all the feedback, all the negativity around New South Wales, they are still one game away from all that being completely forgotten about and elevated to arguably their greatest win. Because if they do, that's the storyline.
Yeah.
That is the storyline.
It would be their greatest win
Yeah.
because they, at the moment, seem that far behind.
Yeah. What predictions, what's happening here, Greg? I want you to be the crystal ball, and on Thursday morning, everyone just going, Greg Alexander, you are a star. What do you got
Nostradamus.
for me? Nostradamus. Who's winning? Obviously New South Wales.
Yeah, New South Wales. I think there'll be points in it. I don't think it'll be low scoring. I think both teams are too good attacking wise. 24-20.
Let me just write this down so we
24-20.
can
New
have it
South
on record.
Wales. Yep.
Player of the match, give me a key moment.
Wow.
And then
Player of
Wally
the
Lewis
match.
medal.
I've plucked for Nathan so far in both games. So damn it, I'm going to stick with him. Nathan Cleary. If he wins player
He'll
of the game,
probably get Wally Lewis.
Wally Lewis medal.
Yeah. I'm going to go a little bit different. I think this goes to golden point, Greg.
Right.
I think Sam Walker's going to kick a field goal, 23-22. I think Ruben Cotter ends up being the player of the match because it's just this slog fest that someone that defends for long periods of time ends up being the guy that gets
Just
rewarded.
a work rate.
Yep. And if Sam Walker kicks a field goal, he just might be the guy that gets the Wally Lewis medal.
Okay. He wins the game and wins the Wally Lewis medal.
And the finals starting to take shape now, Greg. Brisbane gone. I thought they were gone before that result against the Sharks. They won't be playing finals. I'll tell you what, your mob, no Origin players up against South Sydney. You can't say this because you're part of it, but it's a great club when you lose your best players and you still elevate your performance to... Yeah, I had a couple of losses leading in, but what Edwards did as the leader and your man Jenkins, he's going to break the records this year.
Milky Jenkins, 25 tries, scored a hat-trick.
So good.
Even if one of them probably wasn't a try, but scored 3, and they were 3 second-half tries. I was a little bit worried about, because South, I thought, were good in the first half, even though they got off to a rough start. When Cody got sin bin, the Panthers were able to go up, score a try against 12 men. I thought Ashton Ward, Cody and Jai Gray were causing some problems on the edges, but Penrith played a great second half, 21-23.
Yeah.
They kept the ball down that end of the field and were able to come up with enough points to win the game.
Yeah, and South's are flighty. Their best football is good enough. Their worst is it's pretty bad. And you talk about flighty, the Tigers. If they're going to play finals for the first time and they see that they've got the Dragons, and you go, well, that's a tick. That's 2 points that we should be bagging. I think they miss the finals now after that. I don't think they can win enough games, and they've got the Dragons again. There's just games that you must bank if you want to finish the finals, and that was one. That was a poor performance from the Tigers.
Yeah, look, no Jerome, and Appy left the field, and the Tigers were winning 10-6 right up until, I think, Val's first try, which was the 68th minute. Adam Dewey was good for the Tigers, but in saying that, the Dragons looked the better side right from the start.
They did.
They got up the field with ease. They couldn't convert possession and field position into points, and that's been their problem all year. However, they were the better team and ended up winning, with a couple of tries to Val at the end of the game. The Tigers are in a bit of strife depending on how bad that injury to Appy is.
And Dean Young had been saying that. He had been saying that we have been competing, we are improving, but we just haven't had a bit of a luck. And that turned around. Their attack, that's the best they've attacked, probably since that Broncos win. And then you talk about teams down the bottom ladder surprising others on the weekend. Eels versus Manly.
Yeah.
Again, Manly, that's a tick. We'll beat the Eels. They're down the bottom. They're not playing all that well. But the Eels' spine, in the first 30 minutes, the goal line defence from the Eels was the best part. It kept them in the contest. Then Manly got those points just before half-time. But with no Mitchell Moses, Iongi, Pezzett,
Yep.
Falkman,
Yep.
they all had an impact in the second half, running the ball, scoring tries. That's a big win for those guys.
Yeah, massive win. A little bit of a question mark now over Manly. Only 2 wins of their last 5.
Yep.
Up against Neil's side, you're right. They've been knocked around by injury more than any other club. But Iongi, in particular, I thought a couple of the try savers that he pulled off.
Yep.
He was brilliant. Falkman was great. Pezzett scored that try at the back end of the game, but Manly just played themselves out of the game with the errors.
Yeah, and Manly, Turbo was good, but just couldn't get over the line. I think they missed Olakawatu, they missed Kohler. They just need their best players available. I think give them another couple of weeks just to turn around. Because one thing that Kieran Foran has done when he's lost, he's turned that team around and won the next week. Like he's always seems to have fixed it.
Yep.
Knights, Dolphins, no Origin players. It was basically a shootout for the top 4.
Yeah, which Newcastle now find themselves in the top 4, winning 3 in a row. Newcastle's performances haven't been great, but they've been getting wins, which, at this time of the year, you go, well, we'll just take it and move on.
What we said about the Tigers and...
Ponga and Best to come back into that side. The Dolphins were without 7.
Yeah,
they were missing a lot of key players. And Nelly pulled it off. They trailed 12-0, and Dylan Brown kicked his first field goal.
Almost butchered it. Like it was all over the place that set.
They had 10 minutes. They had 10 minutes to kick a field goal. And you thought, well, someone should try and set up now.
Can someone just go to the left post and kick the ball, please?
I know. What is
Crazy.
it? What are we going with this?
Crazy. Thanks, Gregory.
Thanks, Coop.